What's up, guys? It's Gardy B with the Jenkins Jonez show. As always, I'm here with my good internet buddies, Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
What's up, guys?
LeJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's up, bubbas? And if you fuck with us, you want to see more of our content, please jump on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Every team seemed beatable in these in these first few games. You know what I mean? It seems like it seems as wide open as the playoffs has been in a long time.
It's exciting, bro. It's exciting, and looking at their matchups for the next round, it's exciting.
I want to ask y'all something. Do y'all miss Bron?
Yeah.
I don't miss him at all. It's weird that I don't miss him. I'm enjoying it, even though he's not in the playoffs. He's at home tweeting like us. He sounds like us. You know what I mean?
Him and Kuz are just tweeted just like the two of you watching basketball tweeting at each other.
Are y'all missing him? Missing seeing him play in the playoffs?
I wouldn't have. I don't miss Bron with this team. You know what I mean? Like I might miss 2018 Bron. You know what I mean? But I don't miss 2021, 2022 Lakers Bron, because that team wasn't going to do shit but stress us out.
Oh, for sure, I get that. But at the same time, like I feel like, you know how you feel when Bron's not playing, or when the big, like the Warriors who didn't make it last year or whatever, like something's missing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When KD was out, something's missing this season. I don't feel that in these playoffs with Bron not being here, and I think that's wild. That speaks to how good the league is. You know what I'm saying? But it's still wild to me.
I had not thought about that question until you just answered it. I think,
and how wild is that though, Mike?
Because you're so right. Because last year I did. Last year it felt like but
when the Lakers left, it was like
But to use an arborist analogy, like when a big tree in the forest falls down, that's when enough sunlight gets in for a bunch of new shit to grow. Right. And it's the same thing. Like the Bucks winning last year put Giannis and the Bucks in a completely different light for this year.
And I guess particularly how Giannis played as well. Like,
yes.
He filled that gap. You know what I mean?
Because Bron had just been there for 15 fucking years. Like, what
all
is
of a
he
sudden
doing
he's in
in
the
the
fucking
playoffs?
crowd
What is this
in Game
one
6s.
guy doing in the playoffs? So no, I think I think you make a great point. I do hope, not just as a Lakers fan, not just as a Bron fan, but as a basketball fan, I hope they find a way to make something shake to get because it's going to be even more of that next year because of all the young guys that are getting that light this year. I hope that next year we get a genuine old man trying to hold, trying to fucking hit Ned Starkett or whatever against this tidal wave of exciting young talent that's just pouring out there every night right now. I think that would be really fun, but I don't know.
I mean, shit. We might fuck around and get a fucking sneak attack, blindsided rivalry with fucking the Bucks and Suns. None of us saw that shit happening before the last finals. None of us had them penciled in on a collision course for the next 2 years. Fighting for the fucking Larry O'Brien. None of us saw that shit coming. And then it could very well
we would have clowned you in the bubble,
right?
Yeah, like 3 years ago, you would have been clowned for that. The Suns Bucks.
Yeah,
because of finals rivalry,
a finals back-to-back rivalry. No, who the fuck saw that coming? No, but yeah, and that very well could be something that happens, and I would fucking love it.
What's interesting about Booker is, like, as good as he is, he doesn't get the love he deserves, but he just goes out and fucking balls. He's like, y'all can keep all that shit. I'm gonna get buckets, and we want this fucking chip. I'm really interested in seeing them, if they do run it back, how different Booker's going to look, because he had some rough moments in last year, in the finals. I'm interested in seeing how Booker's going to look. I think he's going to fucking light shit on fire, and I think him being it seems being as focused as he is. The Bucks are the favorites for sure, but I think they're beatable by the Suns for sure. I think I would not be surprised if that happened.
No, I absolutely think that they're beatable by the Suns for sure. And I if you ask me what result do I want from the playoffs, the top of the list might be, regardless of whatever comes besides this, just a healthy Chris Paul. That fourth quarter last night was like, he just deserves. We were just talking about the young guys versus the old guy. Well, we do have one old guy, and he balled his fucking ass off,
bro. 2 years straight.
Shit.
37-year-old leading the fucking the Sun. Well, not the best player,
one
Booker,
seed,
right? But but he's the guy with
Well, and listen, there's no question that he's leading the Suns. That doesn't mean Booker's not the best player.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The fourth quarter of that game is like, come on, bro. I mean, there's being the best player and there's leading, and that's not one doesn't take away from the other. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But there was no doubt that interview with Chris Paul was like, I mean, that was like some Meek Mill intro shit. You know what I mean? He was just like, he was so fucking locked in right now. You're like, I just wanted to skip to the next game already. You know? Yeah, I'm all the way tuned in.
Yeah. You know, like I've told y'all before, I think Chris Paul is the most complete point guard the game has ever seen. Whatever all-time great point guard you want to throw out, Chris Paul does something better than him. Because Chris Paul is a, great scorer, great defender, great facilitator, great passer. Like, you throw someone out there like Magic. Okay, Magic isn't the defender Chris Paul is. You know what I'm saying? You throw someone out there like Steph. Steph isn't the defender that Chris Paul is. He's not the facilitator that Chris Paul is. You know what I mean? Like whatever great point guard you want to throw out against Chris Paul does something better than him.
You cannot argue with that logic. And if he leads the Phoenix Suns to an NBA championship, a team that was up there with the most like, it's hilarious to think of them winning a championship. Like, yeah, I mean, that would be that becomes a really interesting resume at that point for sure.
Bro, that man had a 22, 6, and 11 first team all defense season. Like I said, the most complete point guard we've ever seen, bro.